Welcome. Glad you guys are here. My name is Darren. I'm the editor-in-chief of PS Magazine. To suggest that Hotcards sometimes appreciates the concept of culture would be like saying Mother Teresa every once in a while appreciated the plight of poor people, or that Cookie Monster kind of sort of likes small baked goods. The Hotcards team chews up and spits out the notion that culture doesn't matter, that it can't be defined, that it's a cute afterthought, the reason employees might wear jeans on Friday or play ping pong. At Hotcards, there is no difference between culture and business strategy. That's because the culture is the business strategy. Everything this team does is based on a genuine belief in core behaviors that define who they are. And who are they? I live 20 minutes away from them, and I can tell you they are batshit crazy. They are fun, they're smart, they're energetic, and they're obsessed with the idea that a printed piece isn't just another job. It might be an entrepreneur looking down at his first business card, or it might be a band trying to become known, or a nonprofit with a message of hope. Everyone in this room occupies that higher level of truth, and everyone in this room is in for a very enlightening, fun session. Will you please help me welcome CEO John Gadd and Social Media Director Jordan Sanford.
Thanks, Darren. I appreciate that. Darren speaks very highly of us, as you can tell, but I would trust everything he says. Thanks for having us. I'm John Gadd, CEO of Hotcards, and this is Jordan Sanford, Social Media Director. We are excited to be here today. I've been involved in printing really actually ever since I got out of high school. My first job, I sold industrial printing presses, and then eventually moved into the software world in the printing industry. So my first exposure to Darren and PSDA was probably about 10 years ago, and it's really cool to be out here talking amongst a group of peers now as fellow distributors and people in the industry. So we're excited to share with you a lot about who we are as a company, and more importantly, how we then carry that into our brand and marketing. But I want to start off with this slide and this statement, our marketing mantra at Hotcards, because this is the overarching theme of the entire presentation, and it is how we attempt to go to market every day. And it goes like this: build a brand that people want to do business with before they even know what you do. The way I always like to analogize this is if you're sitting at the club or you're sitting somewhere and you talk to somebody for a couple of hours, you're just talking and you're enjoying getting to know them, and you don't even know what they do for work yet, and then finally a couple hours in, you're like, oh yeah, by the way, what do you do? But you've already fallen in love with that person, you've already become friends with that person. That's what we do with our brand, is we want to create a brand where people love looking at our content online, people love coming to our office, people love talking about us, associating with us, before they even know what we actually do. In fact, we get emails all the time from people saying, I don't know what you do, but I'd love to work there. Here's my resume. That kind of stuff happens all the time. Now, of course, we eventually want them to know what we do, we want them to buy some stuff, but we feel we can capture their attention and we can get them to fall in love with us no matter what it is we're selling, whether it be business cards or baked goods, then we've won the game. So I'm going to show a video here that really epitomizes this branding philosophy. It's our main About Us video at Hotcards. But again, I want you to really burn this statement into your memory because this is going to be the theme of this presentation. We're going to roll first video.
Great music, art, and spread ideas that inspire people. Your drive will be solely based on my passion.
Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become.
Young people just like you, follow your passions, regardless of whether they leave the fortune bank.
The only way to be grateful is to love what you do. in some small way.
So I want everybody to pause for a second and think deep down inside of you, who feels better after watching that video? What, do you get motivated? Darren does? Okay, thank you, Darren. I appreciate that. The participation rate is exceedingly high with Darren in the room. Do you feel better? Do you feel motivated? Do you feel inspired? When we set out to create that video, that was sort of our promo video, who we are. We wanted people to watch it, particularly people who could be our customers, and like slam their fists on the table and say, I want to go out and do something great. We wanted a graphic designer to say, that's what I'm talking about. Those are my kind of people. I want to go build something, do something great. An entrepreneur to say, I'm going to build a great business. That's what we wanted to inspire with that. Because ultimately, we realized that everybody who's ever going to buy something from us one day, at least at this point, until everything's AI, but everybody who's ever going to buy something from us is a human. And humans have emotions. And we want our branding and our marketing to pull on those emotions. A way smarter person than me once said that when you're creating this kind of content, and especially video content, you want them to either laugh, cry, or get angry. But you've got to create emotion. And that's what that video was supposed to do. So now I'm going to show you a video of what I would consider the kind of marketing we typically see in our industry. And I want you to think about how this video makes you feel. We blurted out their name for their own protection.
Welcome to Neurotic. Thank you for your interest in our company. For over 30 years, we've served some of America's best-known brands. We deliver our clients' marketing and merchandising messages every day throughout the United States and the world. Take a look at what we have to offer.
Did you know that, Jordan? Any substrate? It's amazing.
We produce and distribute a wide variety of genetic products.
Clearly. Yeah. Okay, we just did it. Now, if you're still breathing, how did that make you feel? Now look, I'm sure they're a fabulous company. In fact, I mean, clearly they're successful. It's a lot of equipment, it's a beautiful facility. Really, they've done a great job. But that is not what we feel is the brand of the future, nor do we feel that's the kind of marketing that, especially in our world, which is .com based, where the vast majority of our customers we've never even met yet are going to have to find a way to fall in love with us before they actually buy something. They're not going to seek us out, watch that video, and say, man, these people look great. These people look cool. So speaking of cool, ultimately, our philosophy is that everybody wants to hang with the cool kids. That's sort of like the deep down innate feeling that you get, in life. I remember when we were all in elementary school, we wanted to hang out with the jocks or the cheerleaders. We wanted to be part of the in crowd. And even as adults, that still manifests in our life in a lot of different ways. And probably one of the greatest companies to ever epitomize this philosophy of hanging with the cool kids is Apple. Apple has literally made their customers arrogant about owning their products. I mean, arrogant, like to the extent if you had 5 people sitting around, 4 of them pull out iPhones, and then somebody pulls out a Droid, those 4 Apple customers just subconsciously think, loser. That's just what comes to their mind. You know what I mean? It's Apple, and I have nothing against Droid customers whatsoever, but that's what Apple has done with their brand. Is they've built this cult-like following where people are so unbelievably proud, not only to own their equipment, but just to be associated with the company, or to say that they're an Apple fan, that they're willing to tattoo the Apple logo on their chest, or they line up, around the block to buy the next product before they even know if it's going to work. That's what Apple's done with their brand. So, to talk a little bit more about that cool kid effect, I'm going to turn it over to the coolest cat that I know, the 6-foot, 82-inch Jordan Sanford.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. So where do the cool kids hang out these days? It's social media. So we put 100% of our marketing dollars, our marketing investment into social media. And this is why. Because we get the most engagement on all of our platforms. Now look at the top leading giants in our industry, RRD, Performa, and then look at our measurements here. On 192% conversation rate, over 35%. Applause rate, 132%, over 54%. Comments, same thing. Now if you look at my favorite platform, Instagram, if you look 159%, over 41% over Vistaprint. Now with Vistaprint, they have 30.1 or 31.5 thousand followers. We've got 10K. And our rates are still staggering. It's actually pretty cool.
As we like to say, cool equals engagement, right? I mean, it's all about the volume, the applause rate, the amount of reach that you're getting on social media. And here we have a $2 billion company, and we're something less than $2 billion at Hotcards. And we have a stronger engagement rate on Instagram than this $2 billion company. And that's, again, because of what we've done by creating this cool factor.
It's our secret sauce.
It is our secret sauce. And now for our secret sauce, so we can tell you about how it is we do all this. Well, we're going to end the presentation. That's what we're going to do. Not exactly sure what happened here, but let's try. Oh, there we go. There it is. That is not our secret sauce, but that could be what you had in your chicken nuggets last night on your way down here. Disgusting, isn't it? Can you slide? Okay, so here's our secret sauce. Here's how we do what we do. It all starts with the culture. Truly, truly, truly starts with the culture. You can't go out there and create this kind of content, perpetuate this kind of brand without actually living and breathing that culture. You know, and we always say, if you want to create a cult-like following, you need to focus on the culture. And that's why cult is over 50% of the word. Now, Hotcards, what does culture mean? Culture is exactly how we define our company. And we do this through 18 core behaviors. And I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but we call them behaviors instead of values because behaviors are tangible, they're visible, they're action-oriented. This is what we expect our team members to espouse and to live and to breathe every single day. In fact, we very much hire and fire based on culture fit. We have a saying that if you're not a culture fit, then you're not a fit, plain and simple. Because we know that the technical skills, marketing skills, coding skills, customer service, or we call it at Hotcards customer obsession, can all be taught. But if you don't innately live and breathe, which by the way, these are like a lot of good things that mom just kind of taught us growing up, but if you don't live and breathe that, then you're not going to be able to keep pace with our business. You're not going to be able to help us do and accomplish the things that we want to accomplish on a daily basis. Now, this is the only time I'm going to read through the slide, but this is one of the best definitions of culture that I've ever heard anyone read it. And it says, culture is what guides discretionary behavior and picks up where the employee, and by the way, we call them team members at Hotcards, where the team member handbook leaves off. Culture tells us how to respond to an unprecedented service request. It tells us whether to risk telling our bosses about our new ideas and whether to surface or hide problems. And team members make hundreds of decisions on their own every day, and culture is our guide. Culture tells us what to do when the CEO isn't in the room, which is, of course, most of the time. Hence, I'm down here in New Orleans today. And our team is up in Cleveland executing on those core behaviors that we just showed you. So we really believe that all 18 of those core behaviors are necessary to execute the kind of marketing that we execute. But there are 3 in particular that we focus on very, very closely anytime we're creating content. And that's create unforgettable experiences. The details don't mean much, they mean everything, and it takes teamwork to make the dream work. So we're going to go over these 3 and how we implement this into our marketing. I'm going to start off with an example for core behavior number 16. It takes teamwork to make the dream work. In 2013, we set a Guinness World Record for the most number of people performing simultaneous full body burns. Like, what? Like what? We raised $10,000 for charity doing it. And of course, Hotcards are hot, so we always like to do things that are related to fire and the heat and all those kinds of things. Hence, there we go, the elements. But we had this opportunity to create this event that got literally international attention. I'm going to show you a video in a second here going over what we did with that event. But the point I want to make as it relates to it takes teamwork to make the dream work is that we pulled off this event when we were a staff. Our entire company was 13 people. And again, you'll see the attention, you'll see the notoriety, you'll see the reach, the media attention that we got from this. But having a small team is not an excuse to creating great content. And we call this, really content marketing. There was a research study done by Content Marketing World where they said that B2B marketers don't develop content marketing strategies primarily to the tune of 67%, primarily because of a small team. And again, we're here to say that if you pull together, that if you have a culture of teamwork, you could truly accomplish anything. We ended up pulling in over 100 volunteers to make this event come to reality. I'll show you a video right now.
Talk about hot in Cleveland, where there is a new world record tonight for the most people on fire at the same time.
So there isn't a day that's gone by that we haven't talked about the Hotcards burn. Literally, it comes up in some way, somehow, every single day. And you can see the attention we got. Every single major news network in the country picked us up on a national level. Fox News, CNBC, we were the video of the day, USA Today, everywhere. We had 2 front covers of the Plain Dealer, which is the big paper in Cleveland, front cover of the Wall Street Journal, USA Today. Why we picked it up? It trended on Google posts. A printing company, trended on Google. So this is the outcome of having a culture of 18 core behaviors that are all dedicated to producing this kind of stuff, that all dedicated to actually being able to band together and create stuff that nobody, printing company or not, this kind of attention you can't buy. And what do you think that did to our traffic? Through the roof. Changed the game. In fact, we haven't looked back since on what this has been able to do from a revenue standpoint in our business. We're going to have a couple more examples of this later on. I'm going to talk a little about core behavior number 4, create unforgettable experiences. Now, this behavior relates to all aspects of our business. When you call, we've got a great voice message that says, please hold while we get you a human. People love that. When you walk into our facility, we have music playing. You walk through an art gallery. When you see our emails, everybody signs their email with #StayHot. When you look at our web content and our social media content, it's all about creating that experience. When we moved into our new headquarters in downtown Cleveland, we had 10,000 square feet of empty warehouse space, which, obviously a lot of print and promo companies could put to good use, right? Storing stuff for customers. Well, before we started to fill that thing up, we had people walk in and say, oh, can I rent your warehouse? I want to throw a party. Or, oh, I want to do this, or I want to do that. We said no like 30 times. And then finally, we said, okay, fine, we'll do it. And we rented out for a party, and then we threw some of our own parties, and all of a sudden what we found out was that the Hotcards became this iconic destination for having these parties, for the cool things that were going on in town, and that it also spilled over enormously into social media. Every single time we have an event, our social media would explode. People tagging us, people talking about us. And again, for a company that operates on a national basis, social media is a national platform. So even though this stuff is happening in Cleveland, somebody sitting in LA seeing a really cool event with the Cavaliers and LeBron James and Kyrie Irving hanging out at Hotcards has a national implication to it. And again, it helps them fall in love with who we are as a company. And I'm going to talk a bit about how this is directly translated into printing business in a second, but I'm going to show you a quick video about Red Space. So you're probably thinking, okay, again, a printing company? Like, I don't get it. A printing company. And trust me, I didn't get it at first too, and a lot of my partners didn't get it either. So, again, the net effect of what we've done with this open warehouse space at Hotcards, which, by the way, now pays rent back to the printing business, which has driven innumerable clients into our business who would have never been our clients before. In fact, we had over 25,000 people come through our headquarters in Cleveland last year for Red Space events that would have never come to a printing company. A printing company. 25,000 people through it. Unbelievable social media impact. We hosted an album release party for Machine Gun Kelly, who's a #1 Billboard artist, and he posted on Instagram saying, thanks Hotcards, much love, whatever, Hotcards, for giving us space in the vibe for our release party last night. Land was on 1,000. 30,000 likes with Hotcards being tagged. We saw our social media that day go through the roof. We had, like I said, the Cavs or the Indians did a big event there recently, and all sorts of social media coverage picked this up. So that's all great, but it also pays dividends on the print side. One of the great case studies I like to share is the Daily Show rented the space from us last year when the Republican National Convention was in town. And they did this like awesome like comedy spoof on the whole convention. But they spent $25,000 in printing for graphics for the event. Almost inevitably, any event that we have there has printing associated with it. And one of the cool things that happens is you might have a client come in, like, let's say Mercedes-Benz, who has never printed with us before, but they're having an event. And they're having an event in the headquarters of a printing company. Where do you think they're going to get their printing for the event? They almost feel bad if they bring in like an outside company. So of course they start engaging us right out, oh, you guys can do printing, well, we need this signage, we need this, these lanyards, and we handle all of that, and we give them an awesome experience, and then they become customers of ours. We still do printing for Comedy Central because of that one event that they have. And we have big Fortune 1000 clients who rented the facility from us who are now printing clients with us to this day. And this is all because of having a 10,000 square foot warehouse that we decided to throw parties in instead of storing t-shirts. So I'm going to turn over to Jordan to talk about core behavior number 13. The details don't mean much. They mean everything. Jordan, talk to us about Rick.
So Rick Smith Jr., YouTube sensation, viral video sensation. He's on every TV show, Ellen DeGeneres. He's been on all the morning shows. So he just got launched by Dude Perfect, has over 2 million subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. He's blowing up right now. So I wanted to check out a video right now that we did with Rick, just about our details.
There's a piece of content that we created with Rick. I'll show you now.
World record card throwing magician. Become the most cards in the garbage can for about 10 feet away. Ready? Set, move.
Still can't do it.
That's why Jordan sticks to social media. No future in card throwing for him. We have a life-size mitt too, by the way. It runs around Cleveland every once in a while. That guy's incredible. He can actually throw a card at a carrot and slice it in half. It's just insane. He holds a record for the longest and furthest card toss, 90 miles an hour across a football field.
Three-time
It's insane.
world record holder.
Yeah, three-time world record holder. So, tell us about this video. Doug.
Yeah, so that entire video cost us about $1,000 to produce, and a lot of that money goes to Rick's charity, which is actually really cool. Now, he posted it, it gets 211,000 views last time we checked it, might be more than that right now.
Maybe a little more.
And then 202 comments. This is on Rick's YouTube page.
So when we talk about the details, okay, so this is where this poor behavior factors into this content. Because you can create that, everybody's right, that was a fun video, that was cool. But if you actually want to monetize that, you want to monetize this content, there are some very specific details that you have to pay attention to when implementing this content. Otherwise, it's just wasted. So there's two components to this video that we're key to that. One is the link that goes on the end of the video. You've got to get that person you're doing this collaboration with to put a link on the YouTube video that goes to your channel, to your website, because the chances of people direct dial on your site after watching that are very, very slim. They might be interested, obviously, they saw, well, that's cool, that's Hotcards, but you want to make it easy for them to go check you out. And so when we launched that video, we saw our subscriber count triple, our website traffic, which I'm going to show you in a second, went through the roof. The other thing is the naming too, that it led with Hotcards. So obviously that brand recognition is key that comes out of that, but also it shows up in search, and Rick even gets text messages and DMs saying, oh, I saw you in that Hotcards video. So now he's got a video sitting on his page, again, there's hundreds of thousands of subscribers on his YouTube page, where people are saying, I saw you in that Hotcards video. Again, building a brand that people want to do business with before they even know what you do. And you can see we integrate Fire, we integrate cards, there's always some tie back to Hotcards and to who we are and to what we do, but it's not like that printers video you saw in the beginning where you just lay it all on the table like that. So how did that monetize? Well, this is our year-over-year traffic on our website. Orange is last year, blue is this year. We're obviously on a red this year, which is great to see. But when that video dropped, traffic went through the roof the day that video dropped. In fact, the 7 days following the drop, our new users increased 140% over the same 7-day period last year. And the 7 days following the drop, our new users were up 46% over the previous 7 days this year. Meaning we were already on a tear, we're obviously already up year over year. We had an additional 46% boost in traffic from that video. And you better believe that that translated into dollars and cents on the revenue side of our site too. Ultimately, this is why we do all this. I mean, it's not easy to create this content. I mean, it's really cool and it's fun, it's exciting, it's nice to be creative, but I mean, it takes a lot of work and a lot of care to create it, but our end goal is what you see here. It's traffic which turns into dollars. So as we're coming to a close here, I want you to, again, maybe think about ways you can take this back to your companies. Of course, you know, not everybody's going to be able to go and light people on fire or do things with oven mitts. I mean, that's our shtick, right? That's Hotcards. I call that a defensible brand position. You're not going to see Vistaprint lighting people on fire or putting on oven mitts and trying to rip us off. It will look disingenuous. But there is a way for every company out there to build a brand that people want to do business with before they even know what you do. So I'm going to show you one more video to wrap this up. This was a 2016 wrap-up video, sort of a thank you to our customers, team members, partners, telling them about what kind of a great year we had. And again, I want you to think back to that initial printers video versus the video you're seeing here. You'll see two totally different marketing and branding philosophies in place. And then we'll jump into some Q&A. Bless you. All right, thanks again for having us. We appreciate it. We'll open up some Q&A. All right, Darren, you're first.
Are you hiring?
We are, actually. Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, but not you. We're hiring first, not you. Yeah. Yes.
How do you have your, if you have a sales team, how is your sales team structured? Based on that, your main outlet seems to be through content.
Yes. So we historically didn't have any salespeople until last year. And this is when we launched our enterprise solutions, as we call them. We said, boy, we have 50,000 customers, and a lot of these customers are large enterprise companies. Somebody in the marketing department needed a job in a rush. They went to Google, they typed in business cards, acquired, we came up on top, they clicked it, super easy experience, and that was it. And we never talked to those customers ever again. I mean, we have a lot of Google, KeyBank, Cleveland Clinic, people who found us in that way. So we hired our first enterprise salesperson last year. He came from Pro Forma, so he understood and knew the industry, had done a lot with the payroll and promo, and he started reaching out to those big customers that were in our customer base, saying, hey, we can do more than just cards. We can do apparel, we can do promo, we can do all these things. By the way, folks, we don't own any equipment whatsoever. That we were a manufacturer until about 6 years ago and outsourced all of that because there's so much capacity in the market, as you know, and it freed us up to truly put, as our tagline says, eat on anything. So he calls these customers and they're like, oh, I love Hotcards. Yeah, come right in. I mean, these are Fortune 500 companies saying, yeah, come right in. We love you guys. You have great service. And it's an instant intro into those companies. So we brought on an apprentice, if you will, to him this year, and they're already maxed out. I mean, 7 figures and maxed out just on relationships that were already in our customers. He's never knocked on a door. And that's a huge opportunity for growth for us, for sure. So it's something we're very much focusing on going into 2018, is really expanding that sales force. I mean, we've got 50,000 customers that could all use a call from an experienced sales rep. And so again, that's a big part of our 2018 goals.
You want to franchise the use of our warehouses?
Franchise the use of your warehouse. Yeah, we're open.
Red Hot goes to every city.
I like it. I mean, that's again, we believe we have very much a brand that would do really well in every major metro in this country. I mean, it's a matter of growing that. So I bought the company in 2012, and it was very much a turnaround. That's the time when we outsourced manufacturing and began rebuilding it. And that Hotcards burn was really sort of our coming out, saying to the world, hey, we're here, we're stronger than ever, we're properly capitalized, and we rebuilt new technology, we rebranded the business, and we really rebuilt the team. And so, I mean, as much and exciting as it is to kind of look back on what we've done over the past 4 or 5 years, I think what we're going to do over the next year is going to put all of that to shame. I think we're just starting to hit our stride. So, yeah, I mean, we're open to talk to anybody for national expansion.
So if I walk in on Hotcards on a Tuesday afternoon, what am I going to see from the work office environment?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. So a lot of people say, oh, this feels like Google, or they say this feels like Silicon Valley. You're going to come in the back. We have a parking lot in the back. You're going to come in, and you're going to immediately walk into this art gallery. We've got inspirational quotes on the walls and things like that, but you're going to come into this long art gallery. There's one little sign that says, this way to the customer obsession team. And you're going to walk down this gallery with probably incense burning, depending on how our warehouse manager feels that day, and music, some sort of, Spotify channel playing. And you're going to come down the gallery, you're going to turn the corner, and then you're going to come around and you're going to see this big glass wall, and you're going to look into our offices, big open environment, open work environment, tall ceilings, again, lots of art, and music still playing. And you're going to walk up to 2 super friendly faces right in front desk. Our number one core behavior is smiling as a rule, and we take that super seriously. Not just because we want people to all act happy, but because we feel that positivity is the most important attribute to getting through challenges. Or even in the case of the burn, we actually have a documentary, if you go to our YouTube channel, a film company made a 22-minute documentary that was in a film festival about that whole burn. But we almost got shut down by the city the night before that event. And we had everything on the line. I mean, everything. Tons of money into this thing, sponsors, the whole 9 yards, getting us flew into town, the whole 9 yards. And we were within inches of having to shut down the whole event, which would have been detrimental at the time to the company from a financial perspective. So you're going to see those happy people who are super positive and free coffee. We got a cooling station We call it the Hotcards cooling station. So all the smaller like business hardware we store in the cooling station.
Hotcards are hot.
They're hot, yeah. Sometimes we're actually going to make a video of this, so look at this sometime soon. But sometimes, like when we hand off cards to like a new customer, we'll be like, careful, they're hot. Like, really? You know, they like believe it. And then the problem is we had customers drop the cards, and then we had to reprint it because they all got like dented or something like that. But they actually dropped the cards like, it was just a joke. But yeah, that's a little bit of what you see when you come in Hotcards on a Tuesday, or any other day of the week. Yeah.
So it appeared like do you have a video tour of your building? I saw people open the doors and you walk in. Do you have a tour of your facility, a video tour that you?
We did hire Google to do one of those recently, didn't we?
Yeah, Google has.
If that's up.
I don't think it's up yet, but Google did just recently do a 3D tour of our office.
For so like when you like just type in Hotcards in Google search, or if you were to type in something related to us, on the right hand side, your company shows up, and there's often like a lead image, and there's other images people posted about your business on on Google, and then it's all tied into your Google ratings. That will now be like a video tour that Google actually, the hired contractor came in and produced. But we don't otherwise have necessarily like a video tour of the business, but we have a ton of content if you go to our YouTube channel, or even our Instagram, of different shots of the facility and just sort of Hotcards culture in motion every day.
I'm just wondering, if you didn't have a social media strategy, if you were a distributor and you recognize sort of the value of culture, social media, and that kind of thing, different marketing than just saying, we do brochures, labels, blah, blah, blah. What are some of the first sort of baby steps that you guys would suggest a company take just to get to that sort of first level of starting to put stuff out?
Yeah, that's a good question, Darren. And so, so the way we do social media is not for everybody. But I do believe that social media is becoming, if not already, the way to market. And they say 50% of all website visits start from social media, which is an incredible statistic. But my philosophy on social media is that no matter what you're selling, what your company is like, whether you're a $5 million distributor, a $100 million distributor, whether you don't have a culture, anything like this, or you have something similar to it, your clients are going to check you out in one way or another. They might ping your Facebook just real quick, right? They're going to, obviously, people start on the website, right? They go to your website real quick. That's your first impression. They may spend just 2 minutes on there, and that's your first impression, your first opportunity to say that, hey, we're with it. Now, we're all in the branding and marketing and promotions arena, so for us to not walk the talk, to me, is a detriment to your salespeople who are going out there and selling every day. So my suggestion always is, first of all, make sure you get all those properties up, the major ones, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram. You don't want to try to be, not that we do anything on Pinterest, do we? No. Not much. So we stay off as many as you possibly can without looking like we're just avoiding it. But get your content up, get all those properties set up. Start to, like if you're starting a Facebook page, you can run like ads and that's an ad where people like your page, right? And it might cost you 50 cents or $1 per like, but you want to get your likes up to at least over 1,000. Kind of anything else less than 1,000, when somebody pings that platform and they look at you, they're like, are these guys really like who they say they are? It's amazing that your brand, that people will look at a Facebook page, and if they see that you've got 300 likes on Facebook, 300 followers on Facebook, that they'll actually think that you're a crappy company. That's just how people, again, are programmed these days, that followers on social media translates into successful or not successful company. So there's some things you can do to at least change that initial perception, and those are organic. I'm not saying go out and buy followers, because that's bad, and people can tell when you've done, when you bought spammy followers and things like that. But get your follower count up, put some content up. For people who don't necessarily have a very consumerish brand, I always suggest that they try to be thought leaders, right? So post content that shows that you're a thought leader. Blogging is sort of outdated, to be honest with you. There's places where it works and it doesn't work. I think in our industry, having great content on your Facebook page, on your Instagram, showing you're a thought leader, showing that you're at this conference, that you're humans, right? That there's humans behind this company name is really all you need to do to at least capitalize on that one quick ping somebody's going to do when they hit your social media, when they meet you and check you out for the first time. And then that might be the last time they ever come back. That might be it. we want people coming back every single day, especially because of the nature of our product line. It's very small orders, it's very repeat orders, and we're targeting a small, medium-sized customer base most of the time. But again, for people who are selling directly in enterprise all day, every day, just don't look like you don't know what you're doing on social media is all I suggest.
Just one more question. I don't think this came up when I talked to you guys in the past. Maybe it has. You guys are distributors though. So you need vendors, you need print vendors. And there are lots of them here and so forth. Has it been difficult to sort of enunciate, announce your culture, get vendors to sort of buy into that, or is that not part of your strategy? Because you work with these other companies, do you tie your culture with vendors, or are they sort of living on a separate, world and they just produce your stuff?
That's actually a very valuable question. So our vendors are just important to us as our customers. And the reason is because we want our product line, which actually as of today, I think we launched apparel and promo formally on the site. We've got a few thousand products on our website. We have to, in every single product category, be as competitive as each of the niche players that are just making and selling that one product. So the only way that we can have as fast or not faster turnaround time, as low cost, if not lower cost pricing, and as high a quality as anybody else in every single product category is to have incredibly strong relationships with the vendors. So we actually have this, we didn't bring it with us, but we have this core behaviors book. It's a culture book. It's a 169-page manual of who we are. And it's each one of those 18 core behaviors kind of broken down into real-life examples of who we are. We always make sure that our vendors get that. We really work hard to get them to fall in love and buy into our culture, because when we sit down and say, okay, we want to work with you, but in order to work with you, we've got to figure out how to get super, super creative, because your standard price is probably not going to work, or your standard turnarounds probably aren't going to work. We need to become partners on launching this product line. So we have about 5 or 6 really key vendors. These are people who produce probably 60 to 70% of our product line. And then we have a handful of sort of second-tier vendors who are a lot of sort of custom stuff that's not coming through the website, and there's just everybody else. But those top 6 vendors, they're tight. I mean, I personally maintain relationships with them because we're asking a lot of them every single day. And again, we have to, otherwise there's no way that we can drive all these people to our website, all these people to our company, but if we don't hit that price, quality, and turnaround trifecta, they're going to jump off and they're going to go to Vistaprint, or they're going to go to Uprinting, or they're going to go to Custom Ink, or they're going to go somewhere else, or Foreign Print. And they're not going to buy from us. So yeah, Darren, those vendor relationships are everything. Yes?
So I have 3 questions.
Sure.
First of all, we're working on core values, core behaviors now. And after seeing yours, I feel like we're 2,000 years old. But, everything I read says you shouldn't have more than 5 core behaviors. You've got 18. It's hard for your employees to remember. How are you going to enforce those core behaviors? Are you evaluating employees on those behaviors? What's the teeth behind those behaviors? So that's one question.
Okay.
The other one is, do you walk a fine line between having this fun, great culture and clients who might be more conservative in the financial sector or, healthcare sector going, these guys might not take our business seriously. So those are the 5 to 18.
Sure.
How do you evaluate your employees on that and that fine line?
Yeah, I think I got it. So the 5 to 18, there's definitely merit to that. And you could probably ask any team member in our company, can you recite all 18?
He quizzed me before I went to bed yesterday.
Yes. I get it. It's actually, so it is a lot. It is a lot to remember what each one of these things are. But oftentimes, the way that we enforce that is when there's something not right, we say, refer to the culture book. Yes, we do evaluations based on that. And I can tell you, it's all about nipping it in the butt as leaders of these companies. It's all about, not letting stuff continue to perpetuate, right? So if you see somebody who's not living and breathing one of these core behaviors in one way or another, you got to address that right away. Your managers need to address that right away. And so, could we maybe taper it down to fewer? Maybe. But we believe that every single one of those core behaviors really, really serves a purpose. And oftentimes, it's not necessarily that you're trying to prevent it every day. It's that when human nature is on display and it's not in line with that core behavior, with those 18 core behaviors, you have an agreement that you can point back to and say, hey, you're not living up to those core behaviors or to that particular core behavior. Yep.
So new hires, do they see this in advance and know what they're getting into?
Yeah, they do actually. So in the back of the book, so everybody gets a core behaviors book, a culture book before we even give them an offer. People that they kind of get down on line, like, we kind of like you, take this book home, read it, and if you don't agree with all of it, then don't call us back. And in the back of the book, we actually have a perforated page. We have 2 pages. It's called the agreement. They have to sign it. 1 page is perforated that gets put in their employee file, and the other page they keep in the book. And it's truly, truly an agreement. And it's actually, our attorneys have integrated that into our team member handbook. And so that is an absolute must for everybody. And then I think your other question was, we talked about enforcement and so forth. One of the things too is you're creating this, there's 2 philosophies on creating the culture, and oftentimes I work with other companies outside of our industry on creating their own set of core values and behaviors and so forth. And there's really 2 approaches. One is that you can bring everybody's buy-in, and you can do polls, and you can get everybody in a room, and you do big brainstorming sessions, or the leadership team can define it and say, this is who we are. And that is almost a case-by-case scenario. But I tell you, if you bring everybody in the room and everybody gives a suggestion and they don't see it come out in the end results of your list, then they're pissed. On the other side, if just the leadership team gets together and says, this is who we are, and people say, oh, they're shoving this down our throat, guess what? Those are probably the people you don't want anyhow. Anybody who doesn't respond to these core behaviors in a positive way probably doesn't fit the culture. And now the challenge is to either upgrade those people, train these people, or have a sit down with them, or, obviously find new people who do fit that culture. But I've always been a fan of the leadership team, or especially if it's a very entrepreneurial organization, the entrepreneur defining what it is they want for their company, saying this is what it is. And then they got to live up to it. So by the way, when you put these core behaviors up, in your values and you define them, if you as the leader don't live up to them, one time, you instantly negate the culture to everybody in the company. It only takes one time them saying, oh, you did it, you weren't smiling, right? And then do I smile?
All the time.
Okay, so it's a must. Otherwise, you invalidate the whole culture. So from a seriousness level, I see what you're saying, but honestly, it's never happened. Then I know it. Nobody's ever said to our face. But we've got, and part of that too is just, our one salesperson, myself, we maintain relationships with some very, very large players in the community. We sit on boards and things of that nature. And people do take us very, very seriously. And oftentimes too, we have a unique opportunity to kind of impress them right out of the gates. I remember we went to a big manufacturer in Cleveland. They're about a $500 million company. And, we're walking around and showing us all the stuff that they print. They've got these million runs of this and these huge, runs of that. And they use a big competitor of ours in town, a big distributor in town. And they said, but we've been talking about wanting to roll this one product line out on Amazon. And it's like, the onesie-twosie orders and really, really short runs. And it's just like such a pain with our current vendor to try to get like a short run of like this sticker done. And we're like, that's what we do all day, every day. We're like, give us the files. We'll take 2 days later. We had them on their doorstep. They loved it. And they said, we couldn't get this kind of service in this quality and this responsiveness from our existing vendor. And they've been giving us more and more and more work. So, we oftentimes try to we almost call it spec work. We try to go into these companies and say, let us prove how good we are, right? Just give us something, anything. And we turn it around so quickly and they fall in love with us. And then they say, okay, if you can do that with everything else that we have, we'll give you another shot. Cool. We're good. All right. I think we're good. Anybody else?
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good job, Mike. I like that you got the balloons. Awesome. Well,
That's serious.
Yeah, you're doing right. No, you have to. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Awesome. We're putting it downtown?
Literally.
Oh, we're
We start off at
envelope marks.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know Norm and,
That's the other, that's the other, that's envelope mark, we were friends 40 years ago.
Okay.
And then as they grew, we grew.
So we have time. Got it. Okay. Now I'm
Don't need audio.
Yeah, sure. Awesome. We do, I'm gonna encourage whatever you want, but love what you're doing. Nothing to reach out and we'll connect. I'm not too sure. I don't know. Cool.
How would you have a booth today?
We don't have a booth. No, but we'll be around. We're gonna go for walks. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you have a card, let's talk about the show too. And then we're right down Cleveland. So if you're ever downtown, just
I definitely will.
I'm just here till tomorrow. And I'm driving back to Jackson, and then next day I'm driving back to my wife's got a little separation anxiety. What is that? Oh, this is from our hotel room. Oh. Glad being separated, not the norm. Or 2 grades.
That's awesome.
I haven't checked my email.
Do you want to do dinner?
Yeah, I'd be down.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
I know, my guy here, my boss was saying he was wanting to do dinner and didn't have a chance to do it. So maybe